Simba 1. My name is Jordan. I'll be your safari guide today. We'll be journeying through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Is it anyone's first ever safari? Anyone's first ever safari? Yeah, I see a couple hands. Wonderful. Some accusatory finger pointing. Welcome aboard. If you are returning, then welcome back. Now, a quick safety reminder. I do need you guys completely seated at all times as we journey through the reserve today. Whether the truck is in motion or not. If we do have any lap sitters, then it's A-OK. Just make sure that they are indeed seated on those laps at all times. Not being held in the air for a better view or being passed from parent to parent, lap to lap. It's also a photo taking Safaris to take all those photos and videos you would like. Make sure you keep a firm grasp on those devices because I am not authorized to stop or turn around for anything that might fall out of the vehicle. Now down on the right, there are two different species of animals over there, but the smaller one with that yellow back, that is a yellow-backed duiker. It is the largest of the duiker species. And when it gets super nervous, the hairs on that yellow part of its back will stand up. It'll make a high-pitched shrieking sound and then bolt off the bushes. And then over there on the right as well, that dark brown antelope is an okapi. It's got some pretty distinguishable black and white striped legs. A lot of people think because of that it might be related to a zebra. It is not. It is the only living relative of the giraffe. It has a similar skull structure to that giraffe as well as a prehensile tongue. Now that term prehensile means it has the ability to grab and pull on objects. So even if that low-hanging branch isn't low enough for it to grab with its jaw, it can still reach up with its 13 to 18 inch long tongue, wrap it around those leaves, rip them off, and still have itself a hefty meal. Now, not too many people have had the opportunity to see the okapi in person. They weren't discovered by humans until 1901. That's a little over a century ago, and it took us so long to find them because they're very shy and reclusive animals. They don't tend to travel where humans do. In fact, they tend to reside in the deepest, darkest, and densest parts of the forest. Now over on the left, the reddish chestnut brown colored animals are bongos. They're known as the ghosts of the forest because they are so rarely seen. And then the tan animal that's standing up over there on the left, that is a greater kudu. It can weigh as much as 750 pounds fully grown. And I saw two of them, and both of them were females. You can tell because they didn't have any horns. Not only would the males have horns, they are very noticeable as they are the longest ones of all of the antelope species, reaching lengths of up to 71 inches long. That's about 5 feet 11 inches per horn. So imagine having two almost 6 foot long horns sticking out of the top of your head. It'd be pretty noticeable as well. Now we're heading into the Safi River, keeping our eyes open for river-dwelling animals that might be visiting us today. Chances are, if you're in the wild and you come across a large body of water, if you are looking to see some wildlife, just hang tight. Most animals do need to frequent water sources in order to survive. You are likely to be visited by something. Over on the left, those white birds on that island, those are the pink-backed pelicans. They get that name because during their mating season, their back feathers will indeed turn a pinkish color. They're also colonial nesting birds. They will nest in groups of 20 to 500 pairs. So you could potentially see as many as 1,000 of them nesting in one place at one given time. Down there on the left, those are Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles can't grow to be as long as a giraffe is tall. I need everyone seated for me. Sir in the back, I need you seated. See engine saying, thank you. They're also cold-blooded animals. They do have that extra hindrance having to regulate their own body temperature, which they will do in a couple of ways. You might see some down in the water. That is the first and more obvious way that they can cool off. They can go for a swim just like us. But if they don't feel like getting wet, they do have another alternative option. They can stay on the bank and stay dry. All they have to do is open their mouths. They will release enough body heat just from opening those mouths to significantly reduce that body temperature. It's a good thing I don't have that ability because my mouth is open almost this entire time, so I'd be pretty chilly by the end of it. Now over on the right, that strange looking tree over there is a baobab tree. Also nicknamed the upside down tree for obvious reasons, as those branches do tend to look more like roots than like actual branches. Now those branches can go up to 9 months out of the year without any leaves on them at all. Definitely doesn't help their case when they're trying to look like branches. Now there are a couple of different species of animals coming up already in the savannah. Those animals with those huge horns are Ankole cattle, also nicknamed the Watusi cattle after the Watusi tribe, as it was that tribe that was the first tribe to domesticate them. They are the only domesticated animals that tend to visit this reserve, so they're likely the only ones we will see out here today. And no, those horns aren't solid, don't worry. They're actually a honeycomb pattern on the inside, and they will pump blood up and down through those horns. Helps them to thermoregulate their body temperature and cool off. Now a group of giraffes like that is known as a tower of giraffes, one of the easier group names to remember because they are so very tall. And those giraffes are Maasai giraffes. You can tell because of their irregular spotted patterns. Reticulated giraffes would have a more net-like pattern. Smoother, crisper lines dividing those spots, and less of that white surface area surrounding them altogether. If you want to compare and contrast those spotted patterns, you can, because the reticulated giraffe is featured up on your animal spotting guides, while those ones that we're seeing in person are Maasai giraffes. And those giraffes are Maasai giraffes. Over on the left, that is a spotted hyena. There's a couple of them. There's one in the cave as well as one in front of the cave. Now even the lowest ranking female in a hyena clan is still higher ranked than the highest ranking male. So they'll grow power. They also have very powerful jaws as well, which they will use to crush the bones of their prey in order to access and ingest that bone marrow that's on the inside. You know, it does have a lot of essential vitamins and minerals that they can use in their everyday diets.
It could be. It's a person in a costume.
Now, giraffes only sleep for about 30 minutes a day. They will do so either standing up or sitting down. You'll almost never see a giraffe completely lie down. That would put them in their most vulnerable position, and of course, giving it that advantage when that long neck provides them with. Now, they also have very high blood pressure. Makes sense when you look at them, but they do have to pump blood vertically up those long necks. Fortunately for them, they also have very large hearts. A giraffe heart can weigh as much as 25 pounds all by itself. And it is that massive organ that makes it possible for them to get that blood all the way up those long necks to their heads. Now we're going to get very close to these giraffes. Just make sure we're not making any animal sounds at them. They are very much wild animals. They do as they please, not as we please.
Look at him. He's not happy.
That one's decided it's just going to walk on the path instead of just walking across.
No. No. 5. Oh, you're the worst.
Yep.
No, you know I didn't do it.
Not officially, no. Now, if giraffes are running a long distance, they will cruise at about 10 miles per hour. But if they know that they're only going a short distance, maybe they're just trying to escape that predator or beat my truck to the road, they can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. Now those grayish black animals on the right, those look like wildebeest. 1.5 million wildebeest will migrate across the savannahs of Africa every single year. And yes, wildebeest does loosely translate to mean wild beast. It actually gets that name because of its long, menacing face that it has flashing horns. Definitely not the most pleasant animal to be looking directly at. Now those wildebeest actually sleep in horizontal rows facing all sorts of different directions. That way when predators approach them, they can take off in numerous directions, especially those little tan antelope that are looking right past are Patterson's eland. Those smaller ones, those are baby Patterson's eland. Eland is actually the largest of the antelope species, and the male Patterson's eland can become as tall as 6 feet tall at just their shoulder. It's not including their necks or their heads. So back to that wildebeest thought. When they're approached by those predators, they'll take off in numerous directions, hopefully creating enough organized chaos to confuse those predators, to hopefully result in less casualties sustained across their species. it's an African elephant because we are in Africa. But in case you forgot what continent you were on, you can also look at their ears. They do tend to look just like that continent of Africa. They also tend to be a little bit larger, the ear size, than the Asian elephant ears. And I'm going to assume that that is a male elephant because it is all by himself. After their teenage years, the males will actually get run out of the herd by the females because it is a matriarchal society. Then those males will spend the rest of their lives either in complete solitary or they will form small bachelor groups. That's our road. Looks like it's closed. Looks more like a cliff than an actual road. This truck is too large to make that jump. So I'm going to head on up this way, see if I can find an alternative route for you guys. The good news is I am a fairly good navigator. I should have that within 1 or 2 days of your expected return time. Don't hold me to that though. I do first have to find that original path. Now this bridge looks pretty rusted out on the edges, but we are going to go over it. I'm sure we'll be fine. Whoever closed that road would have closed the bridge as well. I will go slowly though for your ease of mind. Alright, we made it, which is what's important. Definitely not going to hang around. I don't want to see what happens to the next truck unless you go over that bridge. It might not be as lucky as we were. I was pretty careful. Now again, this is unfamiliar territory for me, but on both sides of the truck, I see some test marks in that red clay. So I see elephants that pass through the area. They do like to eat that red clay because of all of the nutrients that it has. The average adult elephant will actually eat about 300 pounds of food every single day. It's a very large amount of food when you think about it, but it makes sense when you look at their massive figures that they have to maintain. Actually, I see some right up there on the left. One of them looks smaller than all the rest of them. I think that's a little baby. Now, there's no guarantee that that baby elephant will eat quite 300 pounds of food just yet, but it definitely has something to look forward to.
Oh.
Now, in order to cool off, elephants will flap their ears around. Just by flapping those ears, they create an entire air current. The reason that works is when you flap anything as large as those ears, you create an entire air current. Imagine flapping a piece of cardboard on yourself the size of those ears. You cool yourself off pretty substantially as well. So focus that air current on the blood vessels surrounding those ears, and that's what cools them off so quickly. Now, elephants also have very sensitive skin. They've been known to get sunburned. So they will toss dirt, water, or mud on their backs to help them limit that skin exposure to the sun and hopefully prevent that sunburn entirely. If they do choose water as their resource of choice, they can hold as much as 5 gallons of water in those trunks at one given time. These very recognizable pink birds on the left are greater flamingos. You might also see some grayer birds over there as well. If so, those are still greater flamingos. They're actually just babies. They are born that grayish color. They won't get their pink feathering if they've eaten enough shrimp. It is shrimp that contains keratin in it. It is that keratin that will eventually dye those feathers pink. Now, a group of flamingos like that is known as a flamboyance of flamingos, but that is a particularly small flamboyance as they've been known to have hundreds and hundreds of flamingos in them. This structure on the left is the warden's post, where the warden leaves all those ivory tusks and keratin horns that they've confiscated from poachers, as those poachers obtain them illegally. It is a constant reminder to each and every one of us to not poach, to not fund poaching, and to not support poaching in any other way, shape, or form. Because no matter what the price tag on those objects, it is not worth those animals' lives. And a lot of animals are struggling to survive as entire species due to the large amounts of poaching that have been occurring. One of those such species is the elephant itself. On average, 96 elephants are poached from those tusks every single day. That is one every 15 minutes. So with the amount of time you guys will have spent on this truck, it is very likely that at least one elephant will have lost its life for those tusks. Yeah, right over there on the left. If you look among those trees, that is a cheetah moving around over there. Now, the cheetah is the world's fastest land mammal. Their average top speed is about 60 miles per hour, but they can reach that top, and they can only maintain it for a few hundred yards, but they can reach it in just 3 seconds. They also have black markings that surround their eyes and run down to their mouths. Those are known as tear marks. They'll prevent that sun's glare from blinding them as they run at that top speed. You might see a lot of football players and baseball players drawing black lines under their eyes as well. This is for similar reasons. Just because the cheetah came up with the concept first, they often don't get that recognition they so rightfully deserve. Now, this large rock formation on the left is known as a kopie. Large African cats like lions have been known to visit kopies. Use them as a way to scout the savanna for their prey. Actually, but first over there on the right, those small brown antelope up on that hill with those white legs and white strips down their nose, those are bantaba. At one time, there were actually less than 20 bantaba left in their native land due to humans poaching them for those beautiful skins that they have. Fortunately for them, the farmers in the area recognized those numbers were so low, so they protected them. Helped bring those numbers back up. They're in the decline once again as humans have returned to hunting them for those skins. Again, not worth those animals' lives, and if those numbers get as low as 20 again, there's no guarantee that we'll be able to save their species this time. Now, there are some waterbuck and white rhinos on the right, but I'm going to tell you about those lions on the left first. You might know that one of the ways you can tell the difference between a male and a female lion is that the male will have a mane, while the female will not. What you might not have known is that the darker the male lion's mane, the more dominant he actually is. Ooh, don't make any animal sounds at them for me, that includes whistling. As they get older, those manes will get darker, and some of the most dominant male lions had completely black manes. Now, a group of lions is called a pride, and their roar can be heard for up to 5 miles away. If I happen to hear it from now until the end of our safari, I will let you guys know. Over there on the left at the base of that tree, those are warthogs, and yeah, those smaller ones playing follow the leader, those are baby warthogs. Now, after they grow up, warthogs are the world's largest burrowing mammal. They'll back themselves into those burrows with their razor-sharp tusks facing outwards. That way, any predators that want to get to them would first have to go through those tusks first. On the right, those waterbuck, those furry brown animals, their skin will emit a smelly, greasy substance that pretty much waterproofs that coat of theirs. It also enables them to find and locate one another as they can recognize that scent from pretty far away. And on those pretty obvious white rhinos are larger than black rhinos. They will weigh 4,000 to 5,000 pounds, while black rhinos will cap out about 2,000 pounds. And believe it or not, white rhinos and black rhinos are both shades of gray. The easiest way to tell the difference isn't their color, it's actually their mouth structure. White rhinos have very wide mouths and will be seen eating off of the ground, while black rhinos will have pointed prehensile upper lips and will be seen eating from in front of themselves off of bushes, located branches, or vines. Now, straight ahead, that white antelope on that hill is a scimitar horned oryx. Until recently, they were completely extinct in the wild due to humans hunting them for their meat as well as for their horns, both of which were and still are illegal. But due to extensive conservation efforts and them thriving in captivity, we were able to bring those numbers back up, and recently, this past year, reintroduced a couple of them into the wild. They are not in the clear just yet. Now, if it wasn't for humans, they would have been very well equipped to survive in the desert climates all by themselves. Their bodies won't sweat until they reach 115 degrees Fahrenheit for an internal body temperature. So they're very good at conserving that water that they take in. So good, in fact, that they only have to drink water once every 9 months. Other than that, it's through all the vegetation that they're eating, those leaves and grasses that are how they keep their hydration levels up. Now, it does unfortunately look like that concludes our journey through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve today. In case you saw some animals out there you thought were pretty neat based on some of those fun facts you heard. You might have even seen your absolute favorite animal out there today, so it is worth me mentioning that most of those animals are endangered or somewhere on that endangered spectrum. And that includes those lions we saw. So for that reason, you might be wondering what you as an individual can do to help those animals out, make an impact in their lives, and it is pretty easy. Help us reduce their habitat loss by recycling. Recycle those paper and plastic products, and also take the time to recycle those electronic devices when you're done with them. As in a lot of those electronic devices, there is a mineral known as coltan. Coltan is actually found on a lot of these natural habitats of elephants. So in order to access that mineral, we are destroying their land, reducing the number of places that beautiful animals can live. So do me a favor, find out where in your local community